and yet you're contemporary. And what's interesting about that is that there are songs that people are making that association that were recorded in 1990 and 1989, but that's what it makes them feel. And it's like, bingo, we hit the mark. The music survived. Our sound made the 20-year cross, and guess what? It still can be relevant. And that's the big one, is that a lot of musicians, after a while, we surrender to the belief that we're no longer relevant. And thanks to people like Sam, thanks to people really like yourself, my friend, and all the people on the MFA network and all these, it's like it's you guys that basically said, wait a second, I'm not going to listen to what everyone has been telling me that this is dead, because you know what? I want to make the judgment on this. Let me judge if this is dead. And then they listen to it and go, what is dead about this? There's nothing dead about this.
I stick it in my car every day and go. I stick a CD. I had Smash Gladys in there the other day. It's just shit like that. And I'm just, I said nobody nobody would know what this stuff is. This stuff is never going to be on the radio, but it's just what I like. It's to my liking, and it's not really gone anywhere. And we need the international help. I understand. That's really going to help out, because those guys in Europe, they still get it, where we've kind of lost it. But our attention span's a little bit shorter than theirs, or something, I would guess.
Oh yeah.
But
they don't have Clear Channel telling them what they like.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you're absolutely right, Mike. I think that's true. You get the conglomerate now, radio stations, and they're struggling just like, we'd all like to get start a radio station and buy, 50,000 CDs and play nothing but 80s metal all day. But it's just those guys get crushed under the wheels of something else, it seems like, too often nowadays.
Well, sure. I mean, what is it? There's like only 3 radio stations in the United States.
Well, monopoly, easy, yeah. Yeah.
Because you got what? You got Clear Channel, you got CBS, and who's the third one?
I do know.
I forget. I knew.
I know. It's Robbo and his network. That's
exactly. Yeah, it's Mama's Fallen Angels. Yeah, I think we probably
that's why we're here.
We've had 3-4 million listeners today, easy for sure. But no, you're right, Mike. There is. It is a total and I think that those guys are so scared of eating each other up, because Sirius ate XM up, or XM ate Sirius. I can't quite remember how it went, but it's just. Yeah, it just seems like the outlet for the music to get out there has been kind of locked up, so I understand exactly what you guys are saying, and you certainly know more about it.
Okay, let's put it this way. You want to know what's scary is in L.A., Orange County, in the Southern California area, there is not a single hard rock station, period. There is not a broadcast station for hard rock or heavy metal.
It's almost unbelievable to think about, really.
Can you, just there are, on the radio dial, here, there are probably 70 stations. Not a single one of them is hard rock or metal.
Oh, but they will play metal crossover. It's like every now and then you'll get something on the Black Album, or we'll play Welcome to the Jungle. But it's like, I'm sorry, you're not playing rock or metal. You're playing a top 100 song.
Sure, right. But unfortunately, those are the classic rock stations that are just playing the stuff that's 20 years old.
Yeah, I still don't quite understand. It's like, why does a radio station do that? Where it's like, why is it at 1 o'clock you play AC/DC Back in Black, and then at 2 o'clock you play AC/DC Back in Black, and then at 3 o'clock you play AC/DC Back in Black? You could have played, Beating Around the Bush by AC/DC. You could have done, Rock and Roll Damnation.
Yeah. Anything else.
But no.
Yeah.
Basically, that's the one thing that everybody needs to wake up and realize. Everybody who's listening to this, they think you're stupid. And the reality is that none of us are stupid. We all have complete control over this. We have the ability to change the world. But if we keep sitting on our hands and holding our tongues, nothing's ever going to change.
Right. Yeah. I think you're absolutely right. I think that our rock and heavy metal guys, just when I say ours, our brand, it's kind of to get back. And I know we've slammed the '90s a lot in our 45-minute conversation. We really have. But and maybe didn't even start out to do that, guys. Certainly. But I don't think we've got Rocklahoma. You've got these big outlets where people come, and it's a big, huge fucking deal. As you guys know. Do you see that happening in 10 or so more years with, you seeing people putting down money to go see the Screaming Trees and, Mudhoney and stuff like that? I just don't see it. They just didn't have the power with their bands.
It's not. It's not going to happen. Unfortunately for the bands of today, when we were young, the reality was, back in the early 80s, Matt, the reality was when I was loving I loved Priest, Scorpion, everybody. Mm-hmm. But I liked Oingo Boingo, but I couldn't tell anybody.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I liked Duran Duran. We weren't allowed to do that. You never, ever said that because you'd be a freaking outcast in the Haitian community and laughed at. And that's how it used to be. But music was pretty straight up. We had hard rock, we had heavy metal, we had neuro, we had, we had the 7 general movements. Mm-hmm. So it's like it was this, or this. But it's
don't forget vowel.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. But now, I mean, it's like I look even when I'm working the site or whatever, I look and it'll say, what genre of music are you? And then I hit the little drop-down menu and 100 things drop down. It's like, it's great that things are so specific if people are seeking music. That's the good part.
Right.
The bad part is the day of the great band is gone.
Yeah.
The day of a Michael. Let's put it this way, Rob. Can you think of one musical artist that will die in 20 years that will have the effect that'll shake the world like even though you may not like Michael Jackson, his death shook the frickin' world.
I understand totally what you're saying, and the answer is no.
Back to the other angle. As far as all the alt-rock bands, I think the problem is with our genre of bands, people are going to go out there of whatever age and have a good time and celebrate that entire day. Yeah. They're going to have an entire day of being entertained, of just, wow, this is so kick-ass. Whereas with the alt-rock bands, what are you going to do? You can only get so depressed.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was great. I'm really depressed. Let's go watch another band and get more depressed.
And not only that, but even some of the big breakout radio stars are still small in scope. You're not going to go to a big, yes, there's going to be those half a dozen or a dozen or so bands that were big, but reality is they're fairly hard rocking bands. I mean, you know what? Yes. If you go there and you see like the Foo Fighters and the Chili Peppers and any of those kind of bands, you know what? Yeah, I can see those being in big festivals. Oh yeah,
yeah, okay. Sure. Okay.
But as far as the little bands, no.
Yeah.
No, nobody's gonna because there's not enough there to celebrate. There really isn't. There's not enough there to hold it all together.
But you know what? Just to actually real quickly set the record straight regarding one thing you said, Rob.